Okay, long time no see. How are you? I am completely not well. I don't know how I say this to you, but I think I'm actually processing how my whole year has been because yesterday I wrote a scheduled mail to my 2026-year-old asking some random questions which have been in my mind whole throughout the year, and I am definite that she has the answers. Why? Because I tried to make everything clear for her. If you know the analogy where you just like you're driving and there are a lot of cars there, obviously it will take some time to come back that traffic and to reach the goal you have. I never really thought that it will include people in my life. I was super proud of when I was in high school that I have found my Moscats, or like godfather for my children, or maybe a potential people who will stay through thick and thins. And I don't say that it's too dramatic as well, but it was needed to have that cleanup. I have been to and fro from every single time, like I was detaching, attaching with every other people I have in my life or had, except my family. And I was so, like, how would I say, ready to give in for all the most of the times. But I just question myself this one thing, that if I have a dying wish today, any of them could make it happen, like anyone. And the answer was completely no. I questioned myself and it was a no, because it's not just because I can't call them, it's not just because I asked them, maybe a potential one or two might have showed up, but they will show up when the deeds have been done. And I love this, where this is one influencer I know, Tama Kaur. She's just like the podcast queen. Like I watched her, so I mean I know I'm just not remembering her name, but she's someone called like something called. I know she's a girl, so she just so shared one time where just she said that if someone is not hell yes about you, move. I mean, and that's what this whole year has been. This whole year, when last year, I remember this only this time around, I was so, like, I was jobless, but I was so happy that I felt happy because I remember I just wrote a big messages to these all people who are not still in my life, without actually having any, potential reply from them. I just wrote how grateful I am and everything. And I remember, I just don't remember what I have wrote for the scheduled mail which I'll receive on first of this, because this is little tradition I do, and it just set me up for the next year. What are my aspirations are. And I remember writing it like I'll write the handwritten letters to them, and I will just like send some gifts, because just because they have been so cool. I guess we have to find new good people to do that, because they don't literally deserve it. And with due respect, and only respect I could have is just removing these analogies. Obviously, I'm not gonna take the name, they know who they are, because if I just be successful one day, I don't want them to feel like that they were the, victims, or I was a victim. No one is a victim here. You are ready to judge anyone. I am just making this because I just wanna have a one-on-one, and you are ready to judge. No one is a victim. I will say that it all ended with a due respect, because if I would have scratched it or like stretched it just even 24 hours more, the respect would have gone, like literally gone to the down to the floor. Just like my self-respect was gone between these people. So I was struggling with a lot of things, and I will say that I was also not a easy person last few years, let's just say. And because I know I have tried myself so hard, but I hate when someone just comes up, and you know, the domino effect, where you just build something nice and this you give so much liberty to someone and they just take out just a little piece from there, or everything just shatters. Like the gems ad you must have seen, or the something, you know, the like rai ka pahar, like they say कि एक राई निकाल तो पूरा पहाड़ गिर गया, or the रेत वाला. So you get the effect, right? That I used to think that I'm moved on, I can do achieve a lot of things, but turns out could not. And it's not just because I need good people in my life. It's not just also because that I feel like that, oh, I this should have or they would have listened to me. It's just because I feel that it's over. There's nothing more I can add to their life, and there's nothing more they can add to my life. And it's just, I believe I'm just making a bit issue as well, because uh, I believe everyone once have had those friends where, or you must have that friend where you thought that it will end good, but it did not. And I also remember someone saying that it's so hard to imagine that you try so hard to keep people when you will hit your prime, but those are the people who were the persons who could not let you go there, or like were the inhabitors, or you can just say the downfall reasons. And if I just have to really connect the dot, I will say, yeah, that's absolutely right for me. That's why they are not the same. And I know it's gonna sound really, really crazy at this point, because, but I actually saw someone telling that if you have so much going on, you just like literally speak it out loud that if they no longer need you, they can go. And I'm not kidding. I literally took out the name of them and just said that, please God, if they are not my people, and if they are the people who are just like not able to make me feel good, and they are someone who was just meant for someone good, and they like obviously if have someone in their life who could just like be there, please remove them from my life and get them to their own business or their own people and let them meet me. And same goes for me, like let me meet the man of my life, let me meet the friends who would actually cherish me. Because here the red flags which I have felt. Okay, so this is first thing. I could not share my excitement no longer to them. It's not just because I think that when I started having any friendships, or you know, anything like that, and these are all the friendship breakups, the par friendship, or you just say like a feeling where you just have been friends or best friends for like, let's just say 5 to 7 years. And these are not the only group we're talking about, these are all the different guys. Some maybe like, yeah. So number one is that I could not no longer share my excitement or my wins, or they could not longer relate to it. So let's just say if I made any video, I remember this so wisely. I was just making some random videos on my Instagram, and it's not random, it's just like, you know, I tried to like have recommendation diaries, and I got a call from one of the guy, and he just said that it's good, it's good. I mean, I no longer could relate to it, but it's good. And that felt so off. It was just like strangers are so nice to me, but my own people are not. And that's where this hits, that you start doing the thing you were so most excited about, and if they do not reciprocate, like your biggest cheerleaders, you have been doing wrong all throughout this year. So I think that's what's there. Second thing is like they're so hooked with the past. I honestly they all, like everyone, each one of them had this one thing in common, that or it actually made situations like that where we're always talking about the past. And all of my plan is, whatever is my Google Calendar, whatever is my, you know, Notion things, everything, everywhere, I just felt like I am the main character, was instantly gone when I was on the call, or just a text, or when I was in rotation with any of them. And I'm telling you, it's processing around 2020 to 2025, so it's like 5 year mix up. So you get the gist. It's not about random day. No, it's just like build up. And I was just like some days I actually told myself, and sometimes I'm literally the victim to say this. Sometimes they were the victim, because as I said, I was going through a lot of things. I was going through my father's death, who was the biggest like cheerleader, my favorite human in this whole planet, and obviously I abruptly had nowhere to go to, and डूबते को तिनके का सहारा चाहिए रहता है. So that was the reason. Last but not least, the biggest red flag is like I never once, like including any one of them, has ever took my stand. No, it is not about taking stand, it's just not about listening part, but never took stand in front of people. And I'll repeat it, but because I have taken. So the standards are really high when you're talking about it, because the audacity to actually be somewhere and taking stand for someone does take a ball, or let's just say a lot of energy, because you really are like putting yourself out there. And in everywhere they really reciprocated how I felt. They really were sweet people who responded to my calls 3 a.m. and they have heard me crying, or some of them really heard me saying devilish, or like stayed all throughout the night. So I'm really grateful for that. But I imagine if today I have any heartbreak happening, I could no longer contact them. And it's not just because they're not there again, but I know that they still could not do it. Obviously, a stranger would also say I'm sorry when they heard about my father, or if they spend, let's just say, 1 month, or you spend 1 month with me, you will know that how connected I was with my father. And it takes a lot of time for me to process it. I still feel like Devi from Never Have I Ever, where I always will have this, that I literally shouted at my father last time, or like I never really get to see him for the last time. I was just on the plane, and I mean it was crazy, but again, so yeah, everything happened, and these were the last people I ever wished to let go. But I believe God. This whole year has been about faith, God, planning, and wishing, working, and none of them could include me. I will not kid you that I don't remember when it started happening, but I always started imagining myself getting into one of the, like my high school cafeteria, where I see a lot of these people. Some days hugging them, some days shouting at them, some days literally seeing them with other people, some days literally thinking that they're bitching about me and everything. And I know I need therapy for this, and I will for sure get it, because, or I will just talk it out. But I thought that I will talk it out with them, but guess what? The therapists were the real reason that were happening. And even though as a therapist they have to be bad therapists to be a good provider to you. I believe that's the line, because I read that in the book, I wanna die but I wanna eat tteokbokki, by the way, great book. So yes, and they were just like ChatGPT of my life. They responded, they created, they had prompts, but they were always validating my feelings, and I hate that, because I'm at that bar partial of my life right now. I can feel it, that after this everything is just about me. And if just about me, I don't want another version of me who just mocks everything I say. No, I want people who are rigid. I want people who are just like push me to the limit. Because tell me why I feel so bad in this body, but they are comfortable. And most of them are saying that no, you look cute, you look like baby elephant and everything. These are not a compliment, first of all, and second thing, these are not the way, because they themselves are not fitted persons I know, or one of the kindest person I know. So yeah, that's it. So that's how I am still processing it, and I think I will give myself time to go for it. Yesterday I actually happened to share a little bit about this to other friend, the only one friend I could just think of these days. who is kind of sane to in this whole chemistry, and he said that he could relate, but he also said that don't let your self-respect be drawn, or there's nothing like a wrong choice you will make about people. You will never regret it because everything happens for a reason. And as cliche as it sounds, that really felt me, and I was just like, okay. But he never validated. He sometimes like some of my, like I was just like bombshelling all the chats and everything, and he just said like, no, here your fault. You don't have to be this, crazy. You don't have to have it. And he just asked me to promise him that uh, before you simpas, he's in a relationship. So yeah, don't. So now he's my brother. He's my god. He will be godfather of my children. So yeah. But because I know that I will never be in everyday call with him because he is just like me. Not validating my feelings, but really, really never gonna ask people to heal me. And I'm definitely kind of person. You can ask people to hug you. You can ask people to provide for you, but you can't really ask people to take my body and just heal me upside down and give it back. Because the moment you get your body, you are gonna repeat the same things you have been avoiding or they avoided really carefully. So yeah, so I think it's all chill. It's not chill. I but I feel so better telling this to you, but at the same time I feel that the closure has what I have been planning from the last 3 years have been so tragic for me. So I really wanted a good closure. So I don't no longer feel it. I know if I ever walk into the rooms, I know what my expressions are gonna be. I used to always be somewhere confused, but now I know my thing. And I don't know how crazy it's gonna sound, but I definitely think that it's all taking me to the place I was meant way before. I've always wished in my dreams and everything. It's taking me to people who really, really know how to hug me tightly, or really understands me, or to takes me to places where they bring out that person inside me who is just like not dead, was just like forgot like how to hug people, how to smile back, how to be her and over. So the influence is the right thing, and they are right somewhere when they say that you become like the three person in your life. And mind you, I had seven of them. So yeah, सात समंदर पार कर मैं तेरे पीछे पीछे आ गई. I know it sounds so rubbish, but I'm just trying so hard to not cry. I mean, I still bit off. I just don't know that where it's all taking me. Like how you survive when you're 23-year-old with absolutely nothing going crazy, but somewhere deep down that it's gonna make sense. Because my favorite movie says so that सब कुछ अच्छे से होता है. And अगर तुम किसी चीज़ को दिल से चाहो तो पूरी कायनात तुम्हें उससे मिलाने की साजिश में लग जाती है. So I believe this is the call. And I'm gonna take this risk because I just no longer have to go somewhere. My Mahadev is with me, my Radharani is with me, and I think I think it's gonna be good and everything. But then my sister just really, really surprised me. I got so scared. And yeah, that's it for this vlog. Bye.